Cottage Farms had to offer to produce for anyone and everyone. We got it down to a fantastic price because we are the only ones that got this for $44.32. You can take advantage of the Easy Pay, only item in the show with Easy Pay, by the way, of $22.16. What makes this so spectacular? I mean, this is not the Lantana that you're used to seeing.
No, there's nothing weak about this. I'd rather be really, really ugly and noticed than to be so average that nobody paid any attention. It's the truth. Everybody wants to be noticed. Everything wants to be noticed. This is you want something that's unique, something that is really, really beautiful. This is the trick. This is my favorite Lantana tree. We had this last year for me to try, and I had it in my garden. Like I said, with the clematis plants, I like to try everything before I bring it here. That way, I'm telling you the truth. I mean, you can read it and you think you're telling the truth, but I actually do try all the plants, and this was an absolute winner for me. The colors were incredible. Each little cluster of blossoms, they're all tube-shaped, which means the hummingbirds want to go there.
Oh, that's great.
The butterflies want to go there. The deer will never touch it. It's got very aromatic foliage. The deer are not interested. You can find shrub forms. You can find them in little pots. A tree.
A tree.
A tree form.
Lantana.
We've got a tree for you right here. And it's a topiary. A lot of people bought two. Hello.
Hello.
They bought two.
Hello down there.
Yes, dear. They bought a pair of these, and the nice thing, in the containers, you bring it in the wintertime, it blooms in the wintertime in your window, but you've got space to plant other things underneath it. And
anything in the show that you would plant here specifically?
Absolutely, the velour petunias.
Oh.
I would have the petunias under here, which will cascade over the side. Absolutely. If you've got a patio garden, that is the thing to plant underneath it. A true topiary, and this is a fabulous representation of what you're going to have all summer. There is not a blooming tree that does more than this, and it's the one thing that I have every single year. Some things, I cycle them in and out. Every 2 or 3 years, I'll have it again. Every year I have this one. I will never be without this one again. It's very rare, and we grew a limited amount of them. So, once we don't have any more, then we just don't have any more.
Well, I mean, you put Lantana and tree in a description, automatically I know it's a rarity. And I mean, when you look at these colors, it's like electric Schubert colors,
And
that
all summer.
Amazing color.
They never stop blooming all the way to frost.
Which is pretty incredible when you think about it. When it comes to frost, you just bring it inside?
Just bring it inside, and I trim mine back so it's manageable.
Okay.
And then I have it in the window. I turn it so it gets sun from both sides. But the butterflies will be all over it like you'll see butterflies you've never seen before. There's my back door. And you see I've got the glass doors. I sit on the sofa. I can look out there and I see the hummingbirds. I made the mistake and left the door open, and the hummingbirds came in the house.
How did that work out for you?
Well, it didn't work out so great. So I had to leave the door because I was worried about the hummingbirds. So now I keep the doors shut and I just look through the glass at them. But it's a beautiful thing to see. A robin made a nest in mine also because they're really dense.
Oh, that's sweet.
Some of the topiary forms that you've seen out there, they're loose. They don't bloom like this. This is so dense. The robin made a nest, and there are cats all over my neighborhood. I knew the cats couldn't get up in there because it's like a cage inside of there. They were all protected. But I would cut the little blooms, bring them inside, put them in a bud vase, and enjoy them for myself.
Well, and take advantage of this price. I mean, when do you ever see a topiary at $44.32? And when you see the way that it ships to your door, this incredible topiary, I mean, it's a tree when it's delivered. This is not a seedling that you have to watch from its first sprout and hope for the best. I mean, it's already done for you.
It is already getting ready to bloom. Look at this. It's covered with blooms. It will never be without blooms. It's already got a trunk on it. It comes nicely potted up. You're already getting your tree. Plant this in a 20-inch diameter pot, which is about the right size to bring it inside, and then plant other things underneath it, and you'll have nothing but color. It is a party in a pot.
I love that. I love that. And it's brand new this month for 2 easy payments of $22.16. This is your opportunity. Again, how do you get something different? The Lantanas that I was used to were the kind of crummy lavender ones that were it was almost like they were so
That's a
light
great
lavender,
adjective.
they were gray.
They were crummy looking,
They
weren't
were
they?
not
And I'm thinking,
very nice.
who would want that? Because it doesn't even look like color.
Oh, I know.
It's that lavender, which is so close to gray.
I know. And here it is. You have these bright bursts of color. The beautiful, almost magenta pink with that light hello yellow that's just electrifying.
Yes.
With this price tag, pick up more than one. Set them on
Pairs.
either side of the stairway leading up to your house, on either side of the door. Because this is, again, that really pretty, honestly, when I look at this, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but from the average gardener, it feels a little English garden inspired.
No, it completely is
to
that
me.
look, and I love that because each one of these little clusters of flowers, it's like a little small nosegay.
Yeah.
And they're completely covered in this all season long, and even all the way when everything else is starting to stop as you go into fall, this is still blooming. A lot of your tree-form topiaries, they just quit doing their thing.
Right.
This even gets more intense colors as the nights start to get cooler. They really pick up on the color, and the butterflies will stay longer. The hummingbirds will stay longer. It just adds a whole new dimension, and because it gets no pests, you don't have to spray with chemicals.
Oh, that's
so you don't
great.
have to worry about, oh gosh, I need to spray this thing, but I'm afraid I'm going to kill the birds and the butterflies. You don't have to worry. You never have to spray this.
Now, how often do you water when it's outside? How often do you water when it's inside?
Inside, I feel it. And,
Okay.
and until it starts to feel just a little bit dry, I don't water it.
Okay.
Outside, I water mine every day or every other day if it's in
Okay.
hot baking sun, because when it's blooming this much, it's taking up a lot of water. But again, you could do that shredded mulch around it, or if you picked up our velour petunia collection and you
Yes.
plant that beneath it, that will keep the sun from hitting the surface of the soil, which dries it out rapidly.
Now, how tall will this get?
Well, see where we are right here. I'm 6 feet tall. So this is about 5.5 feet tall, which is
Okay.
the size yours will be in the container.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's a perfect size. So you go by, it's right at the level where you can admire it, look at it, enjoy it, but having a pair on either side of the door, welcoming people to your home.
So let me remind you, it's a while supplies last offer, which means we took all of these Lantana topiaries out of the Cottage Farms greenhouses, delivered them exclusively to you, so you have the opportunity to bring this home with this price for a topiary. I mean, you've never even seen one that's a Lantana. Pick up two and have them in the opportunity to do so.
And no deadheading. No deadheading.
No doubt. Oh, okay. You know how I feel about
Yes.
that.